Hi, I'm Barb.
And I'm Alex.
And we're Enchanterium. In today's video, we'll be making Hinata from the anime Naruto.
For Hinata, we'll be using a Michelle mermaid doll. She and Iris were made around the same time, and they have the same doll as a base. I recorded the preparation only once, but I forgot about that and deleted the footage before editing this video, so let's go straight into hair. I'm going to use Oxford blue nylon mixed with a bit of obsidian nylon and dewdrop nylon, all from the Doll Hair Emporium. This way I have blue, dark blue and light blue hair. To the root, I'm using a needle cut at the angle placed in a compass, and I'm threading the needle with nylon hair and poking it into the head of the doll. She's going to have bangs, so I need to make a few new holes with a thick needle first. There are 2 strands of hair in each hole in this area to make a good looking transition between bangs and the rest of the hair. After I finished the hair, I poured polymer glue through the neck hole to prevent hair from falling. I covered the hair with a piece of cloth and sprayed the face with 2 layers of MSC. I'm making a sketch of the eyes with a brown watercolor pencil first, and then I'm drawing a more detailed shape with a dark blue pencil over the sketch. She needs a cute peachy blushing on her cheeks and some contour on the eyelids to make an illusion of depth. I'm going for a very natural lip and a light eye makeup, but with a little addition of color and sparkle. This project was the first and probably the last time I try using the magnifying glasses to work on the doll. Barb has glasses like this for uni work, and I borrowed them to try painting the face up, but I felt like the vision was not sharp in regular light. I had to constantly use the little light on the glasses, and it helped a lot with the quality of vision, but it doesn't look good on camera. I just think it's not worth a struggle, and it's not comfortable for me to wear them over my regular glasses. Anyway, I'm making a light eyeshadow with pastels, mostly using blue and purple, which are Hinata's signature colors. Hinata's irises are a very pale lavender color, but I'm going to make a fade from lavender to blue using pencils and pastels. Unfortunately, pastels tend to fade after spraying with Mr. Super Clear, so we need to build that eyeshadow a few times to have a strong, vibrant color. I'm adding white in the usual places, on the nose, under the brow, and in the corners of the lips. Now it's time to switch to acrylic paints, and first I'm painting the lashes and individual hair on the brows. I usually paint the left brow with the head upside down, because my lines look better when painted from top left to bottom right. Then I'm adding whites of the eyes and a bit of light to the irises. I like adding white lashes, white hair to the brows, and tiny freckles for some extra detail. To build the color in the irises, I'm using a lavender Perlix powder. I know Hinata has her eyes very clean and without any detail, but I couldn't resist adding a few white stripes in the irises. They remind me of Naruto's cheek marks, so I thought they would fit. As a last step, I'm painting white catch lights and the face is finished. I think this is one of my cutest face-ups. Our version of Hinata is going to have a long ponytail. I'm cutting the bangs, trying to do it carefully and not do any damage to the face. I made 2 braids that covered the wire around the ponytail and poured hot water over the bangs with a hairband holding it in place to flatten it. Then I curled it with a heated metal stick to form a nice shape around the face.
For the clothes, I'm going to start with this yukata-inspired shirt, similar to our Primus dress, just in a crop top form. I'm starting by joining the front and back of the shirt at the shoulders. Here's where the garment becomes a little bit different. I cut out a lighter purple cotton on the diagonal to make some bias tape. You can see how cutting it on the bias gives it a slight stretch, compared to the straight grain of the fabric. This is important for adding trims on clothes, because if you don't cut it on the bias, it's going to look ugly and wrinkly. I pressed the bias strip in half and then again in half to create 3 ridges. I'm going to attach the strip to the neckline of the shirt by aligning the raw edges together and sewing in the first crease we made in the tape. Now we can fold the tape on the remaining creases and flip it to the wrong side. I'm going to sew along the folded edge to encase the raw edges inside, leaving a very clean finish. Next, I hem the upper part of the sleeve and stitch the inner sleeve seam. Then, I hem the bottom of the sleeve, and I decided to add a decorative stitch that my sewing machine offers to add some more detail. Next, I'm carefully pinning in the sleeves to the bodice and sewing them in place. The side seam and the remaining sleeve seam can be now sewn shut. The bottom edge didn't line up since I cropped the original pattern by eye, so I fitted the shirt on a doll to mark where to trim it, and well, I trimmed it. I hemmed the edge that would be visible from the front and added a wider bias tape to the bottom edge to finish it nicely as well as match the neckline. I made the tape longer on one side so it can wrap around to the back of the shirt. I finished the edges and shortened the back strip so the snap closure would be somewhere at the back. For her bottoms, I'm using this stretchy blue fabric with stripes and using my good old pants pattern to start with. Normally I would sew the front all the way and the back only partially, but since the fabric is stretchy, I don't have to leave an opening in the back for the pants to fit over her butt. I'll be switching to this overlocking stitch on my machine to make sure the seams stay stretchy and nothing rips. I sewn the front and decided to add a lace trim to the waistline, but not the fancy part, but the other edge. I trimmed the lace I didn't need and top stitched the seam allowance down with a zigzag stitch. Then I ripped it out and redid it because I didn't like the first try. I hemmed the legs while I was at it. We can now close the back. I sewn the inner leg seam as usual. I realized that the lace was not elastic, so my master plan of avoiding back closure didn't really work anymore. I decided to try the pants on anyway, and it didn't work, so take two. I decided to skip the lace this time and add an elastic finish to the waistband. I zigzagged the elastic to the wrong side, very close to the edge. I'm using a walking foot for some more stability here. I'll now fold this over and zigzag again. I remade the rest of the pants as previously. If you would like to get any of these patterns that I used today, feel free to check them in the description box below. I managed to create some nice flat CAD fashion illustrations for them this time, which I'm really proud of. I learned how to do them thanks to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Now, I knew some Illustrator basics, but I didn't know anything about fashion illustrations. So I hopped onto Skillshare, browsed a couple of courses, and bam! I can now elevate my sewing patterns with gorgeous illustrations. Skillshare has thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Whether you're looking to fend off boredom or focus on self-care through creativity, Skillshare is the place to keep you learning. They have courses on creative writing, business, illustration, you name it, they got it.
I studied graphic design, but like many young artists, I struggle with making my art unique. So I took this awesome class on Finding Your Style by Andy J. Pizza, not only because his last name is Pizza, but because it was very inspiring. It made me realize that I'm on a good path of finding something unique that I can apply to my henna paintings, illustrations, and doll customizing.
If Skillshare sounds like a great thing for you to try out, the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, and after that, it's only around $10 a month. Thanks, Skillshare. Now let's get back to the doll.
To add blushing to the body, I'm using a makeup brush and the same shades of pastels I used on the face. Time for some accessories. From iridescent snakeskin-like material, black craft foam, and a ribbon, I made my version of a kunai pouch that a lot of characters in Naruto wear. I chose to replace the bandage with this iridescent material because it has the perfect tones for her design, it looks blue and purple at the same time, brings a bit of light to the outfit, and it's starting to be a part of our style. I also added 2 straps of this shiny material to her arms and a choker made from a ribbon. I'm going to alter these shoes to suit the design a little bit better. Let's not forget about the Konoha leaf. I added a bit of shiny powder on top so it looks sparkly. With every design change in anime, Hinata was getting more and more feminine outfits, and I thought why not give her some pretty accessories like a flower in her hair. I made it from iridescent vinyl and a pin, and I also gave her very simple earrings. To decorate her pants, I'm gluing on a few silver buttons. When I'm using hot glue, I always paint the glue if it's visible so it blends with the surface. Let us show you our own secret technique of ninja.
Enchanterium no jutsu! This is how she turned out. We usually like to make projects that we both equally enjoy, but I don't really watch anime, except for the occasional Yuri on Ice or JoJo's Bizarre Adventures that I've seen the first season of like multiple times because I always get distracted midway through it. Since Alex let me make more smart doll projects recently, I felt like it was only fair to make an anime custom like Hinata, even if it was out of my interests bubble.
Let's start a war. Hinata or Sakura? I'm kidding. Who's your favorite Naruto character? Let us know in the comments down below. Mine are Itachi and Sasuke.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram for some sneak peeks and subscribe for future videos. Have an enchanted day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Hey Barb.
What?